Welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show. Tune in for a vibrant mix of fashion, finance, and life's essential foundations. Join us for expert interviews, insightful discussions, and empowering insights to elevate your lifestyle. From fashion trends to financial tips and personal growth strategies, we've got you covered. So grab your headphones and get ready to be inspired. Tune in now to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show and embark on this exciting journey with us.
Welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Talk Show. I am your host, Teresa Lawrence, here on KCAA Broadcasting Network, 1050 AM and 106.5 FM, where we cover over 5 million households in the greater Los Angeles area. We are also affiliated with CNBC, NBC News, and NBC Sports. You can listen to us every Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific Time on any of your favorite podcasts and streaming channels. We are also in Roku TV, Amazon Fire, and Android app. Just subscribe to Building Solid Foundations channel. So once again, I am your host, Teresa Lawrence. I am the president and executive director of the Trueness Project. We are uplifting, I would say, humanity through the power of storytelling. I know we focus on children, but the truth is the power of story transcends and really uplifts everyone. And once you know that you have power over your life, that your thoughts create your reality, and the story you tell yourself transcends into the story that you live, your world entirely changes. And with that, because it's a perfect transition to our guest today, Ozzie Stewart, who I read her bio and I said, wow, this is a woman that has told stories through dance, through storytelling, and now she shares other people's stories through her podcast. So it's phenomenal. So let me read the bio of our lovely guest, Ozzie Stewart. So here we go. Ozzie Stewart is a Trinidad-born performer, producer, and visionary whose artistry spans dance, fashion, acting, and storytelling. Trained under Nobel Laureate Derek Walcott, she toured internationally before earning scholarships to Alvin Ailey, Joffrey Ballet, and Martha Graham schools. Ozzie later became the first Black woman to own a fashion showroom in Times Square, representing top designers. I have so many questions about that, I just have to say. Her acting career includes work in Pariah by Dee Rees, commercials for Lifetime TV and Bayer, and appearances on Power 3, Manifest, and FBI's Most Wanted. She is the founder of Beyond the Call 24/7 Inc. and host of On the Call with Ozzie, a podcast spotlighting voices of resilience. In 2025, she took her show international and produced the acclaimed Healing Abuse Through West Indian Heritage event. A best-selling author and award-winning actress, Ozzie's lifetime reflects purpose, perseverance, and a deep devotion to humanity. So with that, thank you and welcome, Ozzie Stewart. It's a pleasure to have you.
And it's a pleasure being had.
I want to ask you about your career. Because this is about storytelling. Mm-hmm. So if you could share with people your trajectory from where you started, like where does this all start? I mean, I read you started ballet at such a young age.
Right. So. Yes, my mother was the one who put me into ballet at the age of 6. And later on, it was piano, but piano, my teacher, I never forgot her name, Miss Osborne, she would hit me on my knuckles with the side of a ruler, and it was not fun. So I stopped doing piano, and I wish I had continued or gone somewhere else. But the dance went from a ballet to modern to musical theater to the invitation to audition after touring, and touring with people like Derek Walcott, who's an amazing Nobel Laureate, and being able to perform with James Earl Jones, Roscoe Lee Brown. Some people may not remember Roscoe, or to work with Gort McDermott, who did the musical score for Cotton Comes to Harlem, and here was just, that life was just wonderful. And then I got to New York and I got these scholarships, and it was a mad, wonderful time from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And at that time, Madonna, actually, we used to go to, she used to come to Ailey's for classes. And at that time, we, not having any money, we'd go around the corner on Third Avenue. That's when Ailey's was on 59th, between Second and Third. Go around the corner to there's a Dunkin' Donuts there, and have our chicken soup with the saltine packets
Oh,
of
I remember
saltine
those.
crackers. It was the best time. Shared and cared, and it was the best time. And then we weren't supposed, I was in scholarship, we weren't supposed to go audition, but we used to sneak out. And my audition, the last audition I had was with Bob Fosse when he was doing All That Jazz. And on my third call back, my friend who encouraged me to come up was in Alvin Ailey's third company, and they were leaving, they're returning from a performance, and the bus had a collision, and he almost lost his leg, and another friend was lost, and so I just felt my switch from dance at that point was to be able to be there for him, and then during that time, I just did not return. It's in my book there.
Talk
But
to me about your book. Well, we'll
the
go
book,
back to the book. We'll go back
yes,
to
we'll
the
go
book
back
in a
to the
second.
book. Yeah. And I just decided, to do something different. Take the dance out on Studio 54 floors and Paradise Garage and all those wonderful 80s discos. And then came the call to the fashion industry. I started as a secretary to one I did not know, the $7 million woman. She was called Teresa Matthews. I'll never forget her name. And she taught me everything. And from working in the women's industry, the showroom across from me was this massive industry company, Code Blue XX Baggage, run by the Margolese.
And was this in the fashion district in New York?
Yes, was in the fashion district in
Mhm.
New York. And so I went from one company to another, from women's to men's, and I stayed in the men's industry and got to work with a lot of fantastic people. On the hip hop end would be Busta Rhymes,
Mhm.
putting I became known as the person that you would hire to elevate your sales, your numbers. That I did really well, especially in the men's industry there. And I never sold myself in order to get the order. And that was a very important thing for me, which, a lot of women at that time were needed to learn. But so I grew. And then at one point I said, well, if I'm doing this for others, I could do it for myself. So that's when the showroom thing happened. And I opened my own showroom. It was wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time. And I did things
And it's in
differently
Times Square.
in Times Square, right on 42nd Street on Broadway. At the time, it was the store below was Gap. The Gap was there for years and years and years. Now it's some other sports company or something.
Mhm.
But it was 13 wonderful years. As a matter of fact, even when I left the industry, a lot of my customers kept calling me up. Hey, Oz, what do you have for me? Do you have anything for me? Do you have anything? I gained a certain following.
That's beautiful.
That was a wonderful time. And then I needed to do something. You've done things and you just need to do something else. And
Mhm.
therein came, I was called back, or really tricked back by a friend into the entertainment business. A friend of hers was doing a film, and by this young man. And I've got to tell you that this young man pushed me to do things I thought I wouldn't be able to do. Got me back off Broadway, got me a commercial agent, and pushed me to get a commercial agent. I mean, all these different
So
things.
he pushed your comfort zone. He got you out of that comfort
Totally.
zone.
Just by being in his film and allowing, there was something I guess that he saw that my little part became this big part based on allowing me to be free with the lines, improvising. And that grew. So therefore you have dance, you have garments, now film, acting, and all this other stuff. And I still have agents who put me out on the as we say on the streets for those things. And then came the book, which, and I've got to say, this may sound a little strange, but it came to me. It was not intentional from me. And then, that book happened. But
No, I get when you say it came to you. Like at
yes,
some point, there's that voice that doesn't
yes,
stop talking until you
right.
do exactly what it tells you to do.
Exactly, because it tells him, wake me up, get up, you need to write. I mean, what is this? And it was a very intense period. And then my mom, I had a situation with my mom, and being there for her before she passed. And then my son became ill and I had to be there for him. And then when I thought everything, life is so interesting. You begin to settle and say, okay, now I can breathe. Everything can calm down.
Okay, and with that thought, we're going to take a break.
Okay.
So we'll be right back.
Welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show, where we talk about food, fashion, finance, and foundations of life. We are live on KCAA Radio Broadcasting Network. KCAA is affiliated with CNBC, NBC News, and NBC Sports. We are sponsored by Sheltered Studios, Fire Connect, and Building Solid Foundation.